Welcome to Soul Spirit Stories, where every story reminds us that even in the darkest storms, humanity still shines. If you believe kindness can change lives, make sure you stay till the end of this one. It was a cold, stormy night in the small town of Riverbend. The rain hadn't stopped for 3 straight days. Streets had turned into rivers, and the sound of thunder echoed through the empty neighborhood like a warning from the sky itself. Inside a small, worn-out wooden house, Daniel Cole, a single father in his late 30s, was staring through the window, his face tired, his hands rough from years of construction work. In the background, the faint sound of a cartoon played on the TV where his 8-year-old daughter Lily sat wrapped in a blanket, holding her teddy bear. "Daddy, is the water going to come inside?" she asked softly. Daniel smiled, though his eyes betrayed the worry he carried. "No, sweetheart, we're up on the hill. We'll be fine," but he knew things were bad. The town's dam had nearly reached its limit, and emergency alerts were flashing across every channel. He had lived through storms before, but this one felt different. By midnight, the rain became a roar. Trees bent under the weight of the wind, and distant sirens echoed. Daniel checked the doors, secured the windows, and placed extra flashlights on the table. Just as he was about to turn off the porch light, something caught his eye. A flicker of movement near the road, then a faint cry. He squinted through the pouring rain. Someone was out there. "Lily, stay inside," he said quickly, grabbing his raincoat. He opened the door. The wind almost tore it from his hand. The rain stung his face as he ran down the muddy slope toward the flooded road. The water was up to his knees, rushing violently toward the ditch. And then he saw her, a woman trapped inside a small car that was half submerged in the rising floodwater. "Hey, can you hear me?" Daniel shouted, his voice nearly drowned by the storm. The woman was panicking, hitting the window, the current pushing her car dangerously close to the edge of a drop-off. Without thinking twice, Daniel plunged into the freezing water. Each step felt like fighting against an invisible force, but he pushed forward. When he reached the car, the woman's terrified eyes met his. "Don't move." "I'm coming," he yelled. He grabbed a rock and smashed the side window. Water gushed inside instantly. The woman gasped, choking. Daniel reached in, unbuckled her seatbelt and pulled her out. She clung to him desperately as he guided her back through the torrent. By the time they reached the porch, both were shaking violently. Lily stood at the door, eyes wide. "Daddy!" "It's okay, sweetheart," Daniel said, out of breath. "Get a blanket! Hurry!" The woman collapsed onto the couch, coughing and crying. Daniel handed her a towel and poured her a cup of warm tea from the kettle. "Thank you," she whispered between breaths. "I thought I was going to die." Daniel nodded quietly. "You're safe now." Her name was Emily Rhodes, and she was driving home from a nearby town when the flood trapped her on the road. Her car had been swept away before she could call for help. That night, the storm didn't stop. Daniel gave her Lily's extra blanket and let her sleep on the couch. Lily peeked from her room every few minutes, curious about the stranger her dad had just saved. The next morning, the world outside looked broken. The rain had stopped, but the town below was half underwater. Helicopters hovered above. Roads were destroyed, and many families were stranded. Emily woke up to the smell of coffee. Daniel was standing by the window again, watching the rescue teams in the distance. "Morning," she said softly. "Morning," he replied. "How are you feeling?" "A little sore, but alive." "Thanks to you," he smiled faintly. Anyone would have done the same. But she could tell not everyone would have risked their life like that. Lily walked in, shyly clutching her teddy bear. "Hi," she whispered. Emily smiled warmly. "Hi there. You must be Lily. Your dad's a real hero." Lily grinned. "He always helps people. Last summer he saved a dog too." Daniel chuckled. "She exaggerates." But behind that light-hearted tone, there was a heaviness, something deeper. As the morning went on, Emily offered to help around. She dried the floor, made breakfast, and even repaired a loose cupboard door using Daniel's tools. She was surprisingly handy, something that made Daniel raise an eyebrow. "You sure you're not a mechanic?" He joked. She laughed. "Architect, actually." Guess we both like fixing things. Hours passed. They talked about work, about life. Emily learned that Daniel had lost his wife to cancer 4 years ago. Since then, it had been just him and Lily. I promised her I'd raise Lily to be kind, he said quietly. That's all that matters to me now. Emily's heart ached hearing that. She could see the pain he carried, not loud or visible, but deep quiet, like the calm after a storm. In return, she told him about her own struggles, how she'd moved to Riverbend recently for a fresh start after her business collapsed. Two strangers, from different worlds, now connected by one storm. By afternoon, rescue teams reached their area. Emily's car was gone, swept miles away. She had nowhere to go until the roads reopened. Daniel insisted she stay another night. That evening, the three of them sat by the fireplace. Lily drew a picture of Daniel pulling Emily from the water. Emily laughed when she saw it. You're an amazing artist, she told Lily. It's a thank you picture, Lily said, for saving Daddy's new friend. Daniel smiled, but something in Emily's eyes made him pause. Gratitude, yes, but also something else. She stared at the flames for a long time before whispering, You have no idea how much you've changed my life. Daniel tilted his head. What do you mean? Emily took a deep breath. I wasn't just driving home that night. I was leaving town for good. I'd lost everything, my job, my confidence, my hope. I didn't think I had anything left to live for. Daniel's eyes widened slightly. I thought maybe, if the storm took me, it wouldn't matter, she admitted, tears in her voice. But then you came. You didn't even know me, and you risked your life for mine. You reminded me that I still matter. The room fell silent, except for the crackle of the fire. Lily leaned her head against her dad's shoulder. Daniel's voice was soft. Sometimes we don't realize it, but the people we save end up saving us too. Emily wiped her tears and smiled, a real one this time. Days passed. The floodwaters slowly receded, but something had changed in the house. Laughter returned. Emily cooked dinner with Lily, taught her how to build a paper bridge using toothpicks, and helped Daniel repair his old toolbox. At night, they sat on the porch, watching the stars return to the sky. You know, Emily said one evening, this place doesn't feel like a stranger's home anymore. Daniel smiled. Maybe it doesn't have to be. Their eyes met, a quiet connection born from chaos, but life has its own way of testing what's real. A week later, Emily received a call. Her firm in the city wanted her back, a second chance, a new project, a new beginning. She packed her things, though her heart felt heavy. I guess it's time to go, she told Daniel. He nodded, trying to hide his disappointment. You'll do great, Lily hugged her tightly. Will you come back? Emily knelt down. I promise. She hesitated at the door, looking at Daniel. You saved my life. I'll never forget that, he replied quietly. Just keep living it. And with that, she left. Months passed. The flood became a distant memory, though Daniel often found himself thinking about that night, and the woman who'd changed his home's silence into laughter again. One morning, he received a letter. No return address, just his name written neatly. Inside was a photograph, a new community center being built in Riverbend, with a dedication plaque that read, For the ones who remind us that kindness still exists, and below it, a handwritten note. This is my new project. It started the day you saved me. I kept my promise. I came back, just in a different way. Emily. Daniel stood there for a long time, the paper trembling in his hands. Lily tugged his sleeve. Daddy, what is it? He smiled, tears welling in his eyes. It's proof that doing the right thing always comes back somehow. That evening, he and Lily visited the new site. The community center was almost done. Volunteers worked together, laughter and music filling the air, and then across the crowd, he saw her, Emily, in a yellow hard hat, directing workers, her face glowing in the sunlight. When she noticed him, her eyes widened. For a moment, neither moved. Then she walked over, smiling. You came, she said softly. I had to see it with my own eyes, he replied. It's yours too, you know. This whole place started because of that night. Daniel looked around. The sounds of rebuilding, of life returning after destruction. He turned back to her. Maybe that night wasn't an accident. Emily's voice was warm. Maybe it was the beginning. They stood side by side, watching as Lily joined the other kids playing in the mud, laughing freely. The sun dipped low, casting golden light over the town that had once been broken. Weeks later, the center opened officially. The whole town gathered. Emily gave a short speech, her voice steady yet full of emotion. 6 months ago, she said, a stranger pulled me from the flood. He didn't ask who I was or what I'd done. He just acted. That one act reminded me that hope doesn't disappear. It waits for us, in people, in places, in the quiet courage of ordinary hearts. The crowd applauded. Daniel stood in the back, pride in his eyes. When she finished, she walked toward him. You didn't just save my life, Daniel. You gave me purpose again. He smiled gently. You gave me something too. She tilted her head. What's that? He